Watch out if you are a first-time home buyer in Utah. Today, I am going to talk about a bill that is very close to getting passed that will go into effect to help first-time home buyers starting July 1st of 23. So stay tuned and hear what my warning is. Hi, this is Melissa Ballman, and I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Salt Lake City area. So what that means, if you're looking at making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. Shoot me a text, send me an email, do what you gotta do, but get in touch with me. But first, today, I wanna warn all of those first-time home buyers out there who have heard or are looking at the first-time home buyer assistance program bill. And it's starting to gain some attention in the news. You're not hearing it a ton, but I looked at the bill and I'm very worried about first-time home buyers who may not understand exactly what they're getting into. So let's look at this. Okay, so what is the bill all about? What it is as it sits right now as a bill being proposed is first-time home buyers can get up to $20,000 in assistance to purchase their first home, and they can use those funds for a down payment, a rate buy down, closing cost. You can't get a payout on it, so it has to be on your settlement statement going towards something on the purchase of a home. Now, it has to be an owner-occupied home. You can't buy it and rent it out. It has to be a new construction home or something newly finished that has never been occupied. And it has to be a sales price of $450,000 or less. So if you're living in the greater Salt Lake City area, you're probably looking at like a condo, maybe a townhouse for $450,000 that is new. Now, the bill does allow for an increase in sales price based on current market conditions, but they cannot do that more than one time a year. So chances are $450,000 is what it's going to be for 2023. Now, this does have to be a single unit, one unit dwelling. So single family home, townhouse, condo, a manufactured home that is attached to a permanent foundation. It can't be a mobile home that can get moved around, things like that. So you can't buy a duplex or a twin home. It's a one unit dwelling. So I just want to make sure you're clear on that. Now, here's where buyers are going to get themselves in trouble if they don't do the research for themselves and don't take somebody else's word for it for knowing what this bill is going to be. Okay, so let me explain it this way. The way it is worded is if you sell or refinance before the original term of your loan is up. Now, most people buy a 30-year loan. Sometimes you can see 40 years. Sometimes people do 15 years, but you don't see that usually with first-time home buyers. So if you get the normal kind of standardized loan of 30-year term, if you refinance, let's say you purchase at what interest rates are now, 6.5%. We'll call it 6% for this. You purchase at 6%. Well, in 2.5 years, let's say it drops to 4.5%, and you want to refinance to get a 1.5% decrease, you're going to be stuck. So that means if you received $20,000 from this program, you're going to either have to pay $20,000 back when you refinance or give up 50% of the equity you have in your house, whichever of the two is lesser. So they will take your appraised value of your home and compare it to what you purchased it for. Let's say, for instance, that's $50,000 equity that you've earned in the next 2.5 years. That would mean 50%, $25,000. Well, you only took $20,000 from the program, so they'll make you pay that $20,000, not the $25,000. Now, with those two examples, the same thing is true if you sell your house to somebody before your 30-year term. And let's be honest, most people don't stay in their house anymore for 30 years, okay? So chances are you're going to have to repay this money. Now, granted, when you have equity in your house, you're in a much better position than you are when you are a first-time home buyer. But I'm afraid that this is not getting a lot of attention for first-time home buyers who are not experienced to know the questions to ask and the things to look for when it comes to purchasing a home. And they're going to get stuck, and you're going to be some very unhappy people if they're thinking, yay, I'm going to save money by refinancing because interest rates dropped, and it just cost you an additional $20,000. Now, again, with the sale of your home, if you go ahead and sell, which is not uncommon for first-time home buyers to get into not their dream home, and then sell it 3, 5, 7 years later and go to a single family home or something that they want. Well, if you do that, again, you're going to have to either give 50% of your equity, or you're going to have to pay the funds back that you borrowed, which may not be that big of a deal. Maybe by the time you resell, maybe you've made $100,000 in equity, so it's not really that big of a deal. But again, I want to bring that information out for buyers to know so they can make an educated decision if this is something that they're going to want to do. A lot of people out there right now, because of the interest rates being high, are saying you marry the house, date the rate. That would be very bad advice in this situation. So I hope you found this information useful today. If you are a first-time home buyer and you want to read this bill yourself, reach out to me. I will share the link with you on where I found this information. Also, if you are in search for your first home, let me know. There may be a home buyer grant that's available to you that doesn't have this kind of a repayment penalty if you were to sell or refinance your home. So whether you are a first-time home buyer, you're moving to Utah, you're an established home buyer here in the area, or you're looking to sell your home, I'd love to connect with you, see how I can help you. So reach out to me, but as always, make it a great day.